What's up, Attack MMA? I'm your host, Zach White Contender. We got a very special guest. He's an undefeated fighter with a 6-0 record and will be fighting on week 3 of the Dana White Contender Series against Zachary Reese. Please welcome Eli Aronov. Eli, how are you doing today, my friend?
Good, my friend. Good. I'm excited. Can't wait. Can't wait.
Of course, man. And before we get to talk about the fight, a lot of people probably don't know about you and your origin, how you got into the sport. So, how and when did you originally get into MMA?
I started training in MMA 6 years ago, and my older brother started, and he like I was still in the army, but he told me like I started doing MMA, and I almost got released from the army, and I had more time towards the end of my army. Then he told me like, of course, I was mixed martial arts since the age of 6. I started at judo and wrestling my whole life until very high level. So then he told me like, you should give it a shot. I came, fell in love in it, and since that day, 3 months after I finished the army, no, 4 months, I've done my first pro debut, and since then it's just like a snowball, and the dream become bigger and bigger, and here I am, 1 second from the UFC.
Yeah, and I love that you mentioned that you're part of the army and everyone is Israel has to do a little bit in the army. So what did you learn from your times in the army and what lessons maybe helped you in your fighting career or in just in life in general?
Oh, army and told like taught me a lot in general for life, and of course also for fighting. In army, you really don't know. You need to deal a lot with unknown. Something very huge that it's taught me to deal with just you. So many times you have no idea what's going on, what's gonna be. So you learn how to deal with the unknown. You of course learn how to deal a lot of suffering and pain, physical, mental pain. So it makes you much stronger, tougher person. And yeah, just in general for life, you get to get a lot of skills that help you in general for life.
Definitely, of course, man. And on Israel, how important is it for you to be able to represent your country of Israel every time you step into the cage?
Oh man, I love my country so bad. And that's the I think the most important thing for me too. That's why I'm doing it. I wanted to represent my country on the biggest stages. I wanted to show everyone that Israeli are fighters. Israeli are honored men, respectful men, just to give to the world a good example of what it is Israel people, because a lot of times the news they just show you the just a bad thing, and that's totally not the truth. So yeah, that's a huge thing for me, and I'm very proud and very happy to represent my country, and I will always do it the best.
Definitely, man. And with that, you do have a very strong Israeli fan base. So how special is that for you to have people from your own country follow along your career?
Oh, that's of course that's very important for me. People from Israel are very supporting, very like I feel when I go inside the cage, I feel like, yeah, of course it's just me there, but I feel my whole country with me. My city, my country. I feel the power of our small country with me inside that cage. Yeah, of course it's very strong feeling, when you are in the cage, but all the country is watching you and cheering for you, and you get that energy from them.
Yeah, for sure, man. That's great to hear. And on Israel, I saw that you got the nickname the Israeli Tank. So what's the origin story about how that nickname came about?
So it's a funny story. So I was training at Spirit MMA in Israel in Beersheba, and then if you know Bruno Tank Mendes, he's the CEO of Soul Fighters, BJJ, Soul Fighters BJJ. So he came to our gym for a seminar, and his nickname is Tank. So he's done a good seminar, and after the seminar, I came to him. I said, "Well, thank you so much for the seminar." He said to me, "I'm the tank. Look at you, you're the Israeli tank." And then I'm like, "Wow, Israeli tank is a good one." And I just took it from there, and since that day, it fits my style of fighting. It fits my how I look, the body style. It fits my, and also Israeli has the best tanks in the world. Everyone know that. Israel is the best tank in the world. So yeah, I took it.
Yeah, I love to hear it, man. And that is a great story. And now let's start talking about this fight on the Dana White Contender Series. And how did this originally come about, this opportunity come about, and how did you get the call?
So it was I was preparing for another fight, May 13, uh, and suddenly like, I was waiting for a chicken salad in the one place. I ordered chicken salad, and then my manager called me. He's like, "Well, we need to pull out from the fight. We have fight on Dana White Contender Series." And I just got so big smile on my face, and that moment she's like, "Well, your chicken salad is ready," and she's like, "Well, you are the happiest man to get a chicken salad in the world." I'm like, "Yeah, I love chicken salad so bad." Yeah, that's a dream come true, you know.
Yeah. And you mentioned the big smile on your face. Was there any other emotions going through your head and thoughts going through your head when you got the call?
Just excitement, man. You know, been working so hard for this day to come. I've been sacrificing so much, went through so many difficulties and done so many hard things, and just really want this so bad, you know. And finally, you get the call, you get a shot, you know. So just excitement, very excitement.
For sure, man. I can definitely see. And your opponent for this fight will be Zachary Reese. So, what's your thoughts on your opponent? What do you like about his fighting style and strengths?
Zachary is he's a good fighter, of course. No one gets a shot without being a good fighter. Tall, rangy guy. He likes to strike. He loses a lot of knees and elbows. He likes to kick. Nothing that I can give it a result. Of course, I have the answer for it, and you will see it. You know, I always focus on myself and being myself, being best fighter as I can, and doing everything I can to win. You know.
Yeah. And a little more depth on that. With all the skill set in mind, stylistically, how are you looking at this fight?
I think it's gonna be a great fight. Of course, both fighters, me and him, will come to finish the fight. Of course, because everyone knows what's on the line. So yeah, we're gonna expect fireworks, and it will be a good fight. You know.
Yeah, and you mentioned, of course, going for the finish, as this is Dana White Contender Series, and most of the time he only signs fighters that go for the finish, get the finish. So, is that is that in your mind? Is that something you're training when you're in training camp to make sure that you get the finish in this fight?
I always look for the finish. You know, in the end, first of all, you never know what the judge is thinking, so you can trust. Especially nowadays, you see some crazy decisions. So I always want to go for the finish, to give everything to finish the fight, and that's, you know, it's a show business. If someone here don't understand it, it's a problem. You know, I know I need to finish the fight because it's show business, especially if Dana White watching and you need to impress him. You know.
Yeah, for sure, man. And you mentioned, of course, Dana White will be watching. He'll be front row for this fight. So, how excited are you to be able to meet the boss? And is there anything in mind that you want to tell him when you get the chance to talk to him?
Just I will tell him that I'm happy to be in his show. Yeah, Dana White is a great personality, great. Just in general, what he's done for the sport is huge, and it's so, you know, such a big honor to meet him. Yeah, I'm excited for that.
And to make this fight a little more special, is they put you guys in the main event for this fight night for the Contender Series. My bad. So, how important is it for you that the company chose you out of all people to be in the main event?
It's I liked it, you know, because when I saw it, like Aronov in the in the like top of the screen, you know, is to see your family name, you know, because when I fight, I represent myself, I represent my family, represent my people, my country. So to see my family name over there, you know, it's exciting. It means a lot for me, you know, because also a family is everything for me, and to put it on the biggest, you know, biggest like show on the world. Everyone watch Dana White Contender Series. I always watch it. It's best fights, because the guys come there hungry, So yeah, it's very I really really like. It makes me exciting, and I was so happy to see it.
Definitely, man, of course. And now this fight will be in the United States, and most of your fights have been Israel. I know you've had one or two that aren't. So this will be first in the US. So how excited are you to fight on US soil?
I'm exciting, but actually, there's no big difference. I fought in Canada. I fought. Fight is a fight, The cage is the same cage. This is my home, and yeah, cage is cage, man. When the door closed, there's only one option, and there's only one like mindset and one way I'm going. It's for finish the fight, win the fight. That's all.
And on the US, you did make the move to the United States in Vegas. So how has that whole situation been moving from Israel to the United States?
Of course, there's a lot of difficulties moving to the USA, leaving everything behind. My family, my girlfriend, my friends, everything is back home. But I'm making the sacrifices needed to be made to be at the place I wanted, to get to train with the best, and to just to evolve as a fighter and to get my game to the next level. You need to train with the best, and yeah, I decided to make this decision to took my game to the next level. Yeah, it's of course it's not easy, but if it was easy, everyone was doing it, and I'm doing the sacrifice need to be done to get to the UFC and climb there one day to become a champion, and yeah, good decision, hard decision. We'll see the fruits.
Yeah. And of course, big decision, huge decision. So how long have you been planning on making the move? As this probably wasn't the easiest thing to do for you.
I've been playing a while. It took me uh, something around 1 year to make the move. Still, we need to look like maybe to do some changes, but I'm happy I've done it, of course, because it shows my commitment.
Yeah, for sure, man. And now that you are in the United States, of course, your training camp has been here. So how's your training camp been for this fight in the US?
Training camp is very good, very hard, of course. Training with some of the best, best in the world at the Extreme Couture. Training with Coach Dewey. It's very, very hard training. It just takes you to the next level. So it's been hard. It's been good.
For
Just
sure.
what I expected.
Yeah, you love to hear, man. And of course, as Stream Couture, there's a lot of big names out there. So when you get the chance to fight and train with these elite fighters, what are some of the lessons that you learned from your opportunities to train with them?
Of course, a lot of knowledge, training with guys like Chris Curtis, Sean Strickland, Brad Tavares, Roman Dolidze, many many more. Is just you get to learn a lot from the top of the top. Guys like it's crazy the amount of knowledge and experience you have in this room, and yeah, that's a huge opportunity. Not everyone has that opportunity.
Yeah, for sure, man. And of course, you're fighting for the UFC contract. And I know earlier you mentioned how important your family is for you. And of course, there's a huge opportunity for you. So to be a UFC fighter, how important, how special would that be for you and your family?
Oh man, it means the world. It's a lifetime opportunity. It's a thing you work so hard for it and sacrifice so much, and you give everything for that. It's a dream. It's a dream come true, and it's something you want it so hard. And yeah, I'm so happy this day has come, and I will do everything to get it.
Believe you, man. And of course, UFC, there's a lot of top guys out there. So what would some of your dream fights be when you get into the UFC?
Dream fight. I doesn't really have a dream fight. I just want to slowly but surely do the best and climb the rankings towards my goal, my dream to become a UFC champion one day.
Yeah, for sure, man. And maybe this is also something that could be a dream for you is to fight in Israel with the UFC. The UFC has not done that yet, but if the UFC does that sometime in the future, how special would that be for you?
Oh man, that would be very special, man. Hopefully one day there is a huge fan base in Israel. The community gets bigger and bigger, and yeah, hopefully one day that's what will happen. That's I think it's a dream for every MMA fighter, every UFC fighter from Israel, and yeah, as long as we get more Israeli like UFC fighters, and we climb as UFC fighters inside the UFC, and more newcomer MMA fighters get inside the UFC and get this opportunity. In the end, they will have no option.
Yeah, for sure. And you've had a big experience in Israel when you fought there with Bellator. So how's that whole experience like?
Was a great experience. Of course, it was like a lot of people over there, crazy. Just the experience of fighting in front of huge crowd and hometown crowd. It was great experience, definitely great experience, very learning experience. I enjoy it, of course, as every fight.
Yeah. And now my final question for you is Israel MMA is on the scene. It's growing. So what do you think is the trajectory of Israel MMA being?
Again, sorry.
The trajectory. So how big do you see Israel MMA being?
Oh, it's getting bigger and bigger. Like I said, it's getting bigger and bigger. We have a huge group of fans. I know it because I'm in this group in Facebook. There's like 20,000 people over there
Uh,
for not that huge country. I think it's a big, and I think in it just generally in Israel, people start to see more MMA and UFC as a sport, and it become bigger, and more people know about it. And yeah, it shows the fruits. A lot of fighters coming up and coming closer to the UFC and get inside. We already have two UFC fighters. I will be the third, and there's more and more people who get closer to this opportunity. So it's just a matter of time, until it will be very, very big.
Great to hear, man. Is there anything you want to plug? Anything you want to shout out before we end it today?
Just my sponsors, Vision and Beyond, Stas and Peter from Vision and Beyond, and all my people who support me back home. Yeah, there's some people who support me from day one, believe me and support me. So yeah, I just wanted to give him a shot and know I appreciate everything they've done for me. That's all.
Of course, man. Ellie, it was a pleasure having you on, and I wish you the best of luck in your upcoming fight. Folks, that will be all for today. Until next time, peace.